Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the RotoBaller Radio Waiver Wire Series. I'm your host, Anthony Aniano. Happy to be with you for the Week 8 Waiver Wire. We take a look at some hitters to add before Monday, May 17th. Guys, don't forget, head over to rotoballer.com and check out everything we have there. The main page, the premium package, the expert chats, you name it, rotoballer.com, the place to be. Whether it's baseball, football, basketball, MMA, esports, PGA, NASCAR, sports betting, you name it, rotoballer.com is there for all you season-long or DFS players. Sign up right now for any of the RotoBaller premium packages, including the baseball package for the rest of the season, or as you prepare for your fantasy football season, use the promotional code ACES, save a little bit of money by just telling them that Anthony Aniano sent you. And guys, weekly fantasy baseball is here. If you love the strategy of season-long fantasy sports, yet live for the short-term excitement of DFS, then be sure to try out weekly fantasy baseball contests over on Owner's Box. Head on over to rotoballer.com/box and sign up today. Our friends at Owner's Box are hooking you up. All new users get up to a $500 deposit match. That's right, $500 is the match that Owner's Box will make. And a free RotoBaller premium pass at a $99 value. We'll be hosting weekly free roll contests on Owner's Box as well, which are free to enter with lots of awesome prizes to the winners. Head on over to rotoballer.com/box for all the details and sign up today. All right, everybody. Time to take a look. Okay, we're almost at Memorial Day weekend, right? That is checkpoint number one for me. That's always my big checkpoint. Where am I? What's going right? What's going wrong? And what are the big moves I need to make? Very rarely you see me making any trades before Memorial Day weekend. I'm not going to hit that panic button. But at Memorial Day, now you start making. Do I need saves? Do I need speed? Am I short on power? Where am I? What were my hits? What were my misses? But nonetheless, we're starting to see trends develop on the waiver wire, and let's take a look at some players to add. The catcher position has a couple of players who are hot right now. Now, last week on this very show, I mentioned Willians Astudillo of the Minnesota Twins. Okay, I'm going to mention him briefly again because he continues to hit and hit and hit. Remember, catcher, first base, third base eligible, so it gives you that corner infield option as well. Over the last 14 days, he's still hitting .409, a homer, 3 runs, 3 RBIs. On the season now, his batting average is at .316. Keep in mind, he doesn't walk. He's one of the rare examples of an on-base percentage less than his batting average. .316 average, a .312 on-base percentage, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs on the season. I mentioned him last week. He's still at only a 17% roster on Yahoo, so he's available. But 2 new additions to the catching waiver wire for me to mention today. Gomes of the Nationals, 20% rostered. Over his last 14 days, he's given you batting average with .375 and flashing some power now with 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, and 8 runs scored. On the season, his batting average is up to .288 with a .321 on base percentage, 4 homers, 13 RBIs, 11 runs. If you've been dealing at the catcher position, you know, you took the shot on Gary Sanchez and it didn't work. James McCann hasn't been as good as maybe you hoped. Whatever it may be, okay, Gomes has been consistent for you. Also consistent, but more of a daily play, Tucker Barnhardt of the Cincinnati Reds. I know Stevenson is there as well, but Barnhardt, 33% rostered. Over the last 14 days, is hitting .323. 1 homer, 5 RBIs, 6 runs scored for the Cincinnati catcher. On the season, Tucker Barnhardt is hitting .299, 3 homers, 14 RBIs, and I love this number, 17 runs scored. That's a good Reds offense right now, and Barnhardt part of it, okay? If you could get a catcher who can give you 2 categories that stand out, you got to go for it. And right now, Barnhardt's giving you a plus batting average and scoring runs. All 3 of these guys are giving you the plus batting average. Gomes is giving you a little bit of pop with the 4 homers on the season. Okay, Astudillo, the benefit of him, you can move him around in a daily lineup setting. When he plays, you can move him to corner infield if somebody else has a day off as well. Speaking of corner infielders who are available, I have 2 of them, and they are repeats, although we'll get to some new ones later on towards the end of the show. Brandon Belt is back on the list again this week. Okay, 44% roster. Probably the last time I'll get to mention him for a while. Because over the last 14 days, Brandon Belt is hitting .278 with 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, 7 runs scored for the surprising San Francisco Giants. Batting average on the season is now up to .235. That's what .278 will do you for. But nonetheless, the power is playing for Brandon Belt on the year. Exceptional on-base percentage at .363. 8 home runs, 21 RBIs, 17 runs scored. Okay, he is an excellent option right now as a corner infield spot, even if you're desperate at first base. Brandon Belt hitting well, and hitting for power, driving in runs. Jeimer Candelario, I keep mentioning him because I love the player. I love the skill set. Not as much power as some people will like, but you can't ignore .342 batting average over the last 14 days. Still only 29% rostered, first base and third base eligible, which is nice. 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 8 runs scored over the last 14 to go with that .342 batting average. He has a .353 on-base percentage for the season to go with a .283 batting average. 18 runs scored, 13 RBIs, and 3 home runs on the season for, honestly, Detroit's best offensive player. Okay, 29% roster, first, third, corner, infield option, Candelario. And if he's still floating around, the truth is he's not going to cost you much fab at all. Let's slide to the middle infield. Miguel Rojas, a little higher roster percentage than I usually mention, but it's going to be the last chance for him at 47% rostered on Yahoo. He's hitting .378 over his last 14 days with 14 runs scored. I say it all the time. I feel like people forget about those runs scored. Don't forget it. Rojas is providing it. 14 runs scored over the last 14. That's a run a day he's scoring. 2 homers, 7 RBIs. And now for the season, batting .292 with a .370 on-base percentage. He has 27 runs scored on the season to go along with 14 RBIs, 2 home runs, and one category I haven't mentioned yet today, 3 stolen bases on the season for Rojas. You're getting a few steals here and there, exceptional batting average, and a ton of runs scored for Miguel Rojas, the Marlins shortstop. The veteran Brandon Crawford, another San Francisco Giants, a team nobody thought was going to be that very good, and we know how good they have been in the National League West. These veterans have come back to life in San Francisco. Brandon Crawford, another player like Brandon Belt, batting average is a little low, but flashing a ton of power through the season. Now, 23% rostered. Over the last 14 days, Brandon Crawford is hitting .320 with 4 homers, 9 RBIs, 8 runs scored, and sprinkled in a steal. I added him a week ago in the TGFBI, plugged him into my middle infield, and I've been very happy with that outcome. On the season, he's still hitting only .235, even with that .320 surge. But like Brandon Belt, 8 homers, 19 RBIs, 18 runs scored, and 3 stolen bases mixed in. On-base percentage a little low, .315. Doesn't draw many walks. But Brandon Crawford has looked terrific so far this season for the Giants. One last veteran middle infielder and corner infield eligible player, Starlin Castro. Remember him? He used to lead the league in hits every year. Okay? Starlin Castro, 15% rostered, is hitting .370 over his last 14 days. Not much power, not many runs scored, not much speed. He's a terrific batting average ad. If you look at your standings and you say, I need to make a run in batting average, Starlin Castro's always been a good hitter, not many homers, doubles type of guy potentially in his prime. Okay, on the season, his batting average is up to .295 with a .345 on base percentage. He does have 16 RBIs on the year to go with his 1 home run, middle and corner infield eligible. I draw a complete blank on the word. Middle and corner infield eligible is Starlin Castro. Now, nonetheless, move on to the outfield position. I have 5 outfielders, 2 of them who also provide you middle infield, corner infield eligibility. Robbie Grossman of the Detroit Tigers. I mention him because he's my 1 stolen base ad of the week. Okay, Grossman 30% rostered. He's over his last 14 days hitting .302 with 3 stolen bases. He's flashed some pop as well. 2 homers, 11 RBIs, 8 runs scored. terrific numbers, but I really focus on the stolen bases with Robbie Grossman. On the season now, batting average is up to 242, and he's got you 7 stolen bases. In a league where stolen bases are hard to find, Robbie Grossman is out there. In 70% of the leagues, he's available, okay? And he's giving you 7 steals. Mixed in with 4 homers, 18 RBIs, 16 runs scored, and a 242 batting average and climbing. But if you're looking in steals, if you're looking at your categories, Grossman is the stolen base option to add. Avisail Garcia, 25% rostered, hitting .421 over his last 14 days. 2 homers, 10 RBIs. We've seen Avisail Garcia. His season is always filled with ups and downs. Right now, he's on and up. Got his batting average for the season up to 267 with a 346 on-base percentage, 5 homers, 20 RBIs, 7 runs scored. Another 20 home run season on the way for Avisail Garcia. And again, 25% rostered. My favorite outfielder to add right now is Harrison Bader of the St. Louis Cardinals. 262 over his last 14 days. And remember, he was injured for a good portion of the season, so his 14 is very similar to his season. Over this 14 days, though, 3 homers, 2 stolen bases, 8 RBIs, 5 runs scored, playing every day for the Cardinals. Harrison Bader is my #1 outfield add. I added him in TGFBI a week ago. I recommend him. He's only 6%, single digit, eligible, rostered right now in Yahoo. So grab Harrison Bader. He's a terrific player, playing every day, and he's only going to get better. And you're looking at a potential 15-15 homer stolen base guy in Harrison Bader the rest of the way. 2 other outfielders to mention, though, and these are also my 2 favorite corner infield ads. My favorite one is Andrew Vaughn, the rookie for the Chicago White Sox. 33% rostered on Yahoo. Over the last 14 days, hitting .265, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, and 8 runs scored. He's got his batting average now up to .259 with a .367 on-base percentage. 15 runs scored for the season to go with those 2 home runs, and his injuries have chipped away at the White Sox. The White Sox have continued to play exceptional baseball, and Andrew Vaughn is getting hot right now. You had to give him some time. Limited minor league experience, obviously. He's starting to adjust to the major league game and playing very, very well for the White Sox. He is my #1 corner infield. I love him as an outfielder as well, Andrew Vaughn. And finally, Joc Pederson, now of the Chicago Cubs. 23% rostered. Now, the power hasn't played yet, but over the last 14 days, his batting average is .484. No home runs. And that's the problem with Joc Pederson, is we want the 30 ding-dongs from him. He's only given us 1 home run on the season to go at 9 RBIs and 8 runs scored, but he is hitting .484 over the last 14. His batting average is up to .268. And you have to figure in the summer months, playing at Wrigley, those home runs will come for Joc Pederson. We've seen it in the past. Even when he's hitting .210, he's hitting you 25 to 30 home runs. The power will be there for Pederson. You want to be there for when that power streak happens, because it's going to come in bunches like it always does. And right now, with, like I said, a .484 batting average over the last 14 days. Catchers, Astudillo, Tucker Barnhardt, Gomes. Corner infielders, Brandon Belt, Candelario. Throw in Andrew Vaughn and Joc Pederson. Vaughn being my favorite there at the corner, also outfield eligible. Middle infielders, Miguel Rojas, Brandon Crawford, Starlin Castro. And the outfielders for speed, Robbie Grossman, Avisail Garcia. I love Harrison Bader. And like I mentioned, Vaughn and Pederson eligible outfield and first base. All right, everybody, stay right here on the RotoBaller YouTube channel. Check out all the great content we have, including the Waiver Wire Pitcher Show coming right up next here for Week 8. Head over to rotoballer.com. Check out all the great action there. Sign up with that promo code ACES. And like I said at the start, rotoballer.com/box. Take advantage of that as well. All right, everybody, stay smart, stay safe, set your fabs. Good luck, and we'll see you next time right here on RotoBaller Radio.